Shalom, shalom. Giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, and double honors unto the elder apostles, elder bishops, and brothers at Great Millstone. A shalom unto the brothers that teach the likewise doctrine. Salutations to the whole elect. This is your brother, Rabbi Yamian, here to share another lesson. And Spirit, uh, the Holy Spirit was on me to do this lesson right quick, and I wanted to, get it out real quick. Right. Inspiration for this lesson came when I saw the comedian Shula King. He did a really short video, pretty much covering a Edomite, right, that made a racial slur while two Jakes at the BAFTA Awards was, doing their presentation and stuff. And the Edomite that made the racial slur, they said that he had a Tourette syndrome. So I looked that up, to get a read and stuff, get some understanding what kind of sickness, it is and the symptoms and stuff like that, and, to pretty much go into the video. But I'll play the video at some point, so you can get the gist of what the lesson is all about, and share a few scriptures, at the end. So Lord, within this quick lesson be edified unto elect. The title of this video is Even in a Low State, Esau Still Hates You Jakes, right? So Tourette syndrome is a nervous system disorder characterized by involuntary repetitive movements and vocalizations known as tics, TICS, typically appearing between the ages of 5 and 10. While there is no cure, symptoms often improve or disappear in the late teens to early 20s. The exact cause is unknown, but involve complex genetics and brain development factors. Right, and this is a more outlined symptom of it. So it says, what is Tourette syndrome? Right, it says Tourette syndrome is a neurological condition that causes involuntary motor and vocal tics. Motor tics, eye blinking or darting, shoulder shrugging, head jerking, nose twitching, lip twitching, neck movements, swallowing, face grimacing, right, and the vocal tics, sniffing, throat clearing, grunting, barking, humming, calling out, repeating words. Remember that for later on in the video. Repeating words. So here we go. Alright, ABC 7. Alright, this is to ABC 7 News channel. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So my channel is not monetized. I'm using your short clip or video for commenting and teaching purposes. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips in balance in favor of fair use. So again, my channel is not monetizing. I'm not making any monetary gain by using your video. Fair use. Alright, here goes a video.
What should have been Britain's big night to celebrate art and culture, with royalty mixing with the Hollywood elite, instead is mired in controversy this morning, the BBC apologising to BAFTA viewers after several obscene outbursts from Tourette's activist John Davidson were heard on a broadcast. Davidson is the inspiration for the movie I Swear, which was nominated for 6 awards and took home the leading actor BAFTA. He was diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome at the age of 12. It's a neurological condition that can cause involuntary movements and vocal tics, sometimes involving outbursts of inappropriate language. One such outburst heard on the broadcast was while Sinister stars Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were on stage.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
A racial slur could be heard while the men presented the award for Best Visual Effects. Jordan and Lindo looked startled, but continued on. Host Alan Cumming later asking the audience for their understanding.
You may have heard some strong and offensive language tonight. Tourette's syndrome is a disability, and the tics you've heard tonight are involuntary, which means the person who has Tourette's syndrome has no control over their language. We apologise if you were offended.
All right, so hopefully you wouldn't believe that, man. You understand? Now it says involuntary. They make involuntary speeches, calling out and so on and so forth. So that is the excuse that they give it. But if it was a disabled Jake that was making those comments, the story would have been totally different. But justice and recompense is coming, man. So this is Ezekiel. It's not going to be quick. It's going to be really quick and straight to the point. Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5, and it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, this is Esau, and I shed the blood of the children of Israel, you Jakes, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, Native American Indians, right? By force of the sword, he shed the blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword in the time of their calamity, right? Their captivities, right? Them being in a low state, in the time that their iniquity had an end, you understand? So this man forward the affliction, man. Verse 6, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Said thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee, right? And the ultimate pursuer of blood against Esau Edom is Yahweh Shai in his indignation coming in these last days because of what he and Babylon has done unto the nation, right, of Israel in these last days. Now you would think, humbling comes in two forms. One, when you're sick, right, or when you're old, when you're sick, right, you are disabled or you have a handicap one way or another. So you need dependence, right? You need help. And then when you're old, you're not in your strength anymore, right? So you would think that in a lower state, Esau is going to humble himself. But that is not his nature, you understand? And this is why we tell you Jakes and you Eves, especially you Eves that that be up in these not homeless, but these elderly hospices and places where Esau is, right? A lot of Eves give Esau care in these different homes and stuff, and they still make derogatory remarks and stuff to him. You understand? It's not them being old or whatever. That is just who they are. That is who they are. So the guy who made a racial slur, damn the Tourette's syndrome, that is who he are, right? Because they say one of the symptoms is repetitive words. So he is here, and he was speaking it in his younger years, so it's coming out now. You understand? Last portion of script here is in the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusted, so is his wickedness, right? Just like with a car, once the rust form, you can never really totally get rid of it. It remains, right? Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed of him and beware of him, right? Even in his old age or in his sickness. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou wipest as if thou hast wiped Salakia, has wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his wrath had not altogether been wiped away. Like I mentioned, right? Same thing with a vehicle. Once the rust starts, it's like cancer. You can't really get rid of it. If it is removed in one spot, then more than likely it exists in other places in a vehicle. So it's not altogether being wiped away. His excuse is not his Tourette syndrome. His excuse that he is the devil and he should not be trusted, and that he has a perpetual hatred for you, Jakes. So open up your eyes, man. This man hates you, and he's getting ready through Jacob's trouble and other means to pursue you with blood, to pursue you with the sword. Alright, so this quick lesson, it wasn't my spirit to do it. I just wanted to get it out there. So until the next time, shalom. Lord willing, it was edifying. Shalom until the next time.